Hello, my name is Ilona and today is Tuesday, February 7th, 2023. Yesterday I shared a message from part of an article from Benjamin Fulford. He usually shares a part of his article on Monday and the rest is behind a paywall, but later on in the day you usually can find the rest of the article. Interesting enough, I wanted to share something. Of course, I am always, see if it resonates with you. But this is very interesting. The KM, that's the the mafia, the Khazarian mafia, is desperately trying to blow up the whole planet using agents in both Iran and Israel because they lost the Vatican controlled and their US corporate subsidiary. They lost the control of the financial system on January 31st. That is why the entire Italian internet shut down on February 1st. So that's interesting. The Vatican Bank, which was used to bribe most so-called world leaders, has been cut off. Now the KM, the Khazarian Mafia, have until February 13th before their US corporation is completely cut off. I thought that was very interesting information. And let's see. I actually looked at the first card reading if this is correct, that the Italian, the blackout in Italy, if that has to do with the financial system, if that really changed to the new system. The cards I got was the Three of Pentacles. The Three of Pentacles. We've got the King of Swords as the central card. We have the Knight of Wands in the past. We've got the Six of Cups underneath the central card. And we have the Six of Wands and the Six of Pentacles for the future, the near future. So we have three sixes. Very interesting. That's the number of balance, bringing balance. So to me, this feels like this is certainly done to create balance again. And especially with, of course, the Knight of Wands in the past, this is a white hat action. So the entire blackout, the internet blackout, was necessary to install this new system. To me, this feels like this information is correct, especially with the cards. They've been working very hard on this. This is a white hat operation to me. The Three of Wands is working together. They really thought about this, really thought this through, when to do this, when the timing was right. And of course, they shut down the internet. And that was necessary, especially in Italy, because of course the Vatican is located there. We have the Six of Cups again, which is interesting. This is my card for children. And I do believe that this has to do, of course, also with the children, with the activities around the children, because they used that money for that as well. And the Vatican and everything that happened below. And I think things are really going to come out now. And it's time. I see this card popping up more and more in my card readings. And of course, I mentioned what happened in the Dutch media, of course, yesterday in my video about children, about books, and about certain writers writing in certain, direction towards children. And this needs to be something that needs to be out in the open. The truth needs to come out. And I think we are really working towards that. But we also have, of course, that this is a victory for the white hats. This is a big victory. This is it's a victory for humanity, bringing new stability, bringing new financial stability. It's a different way. When this is ultimately rolled out, I believe this new system, the old system has to collapse. It has to collapse. And then the new system will be brought in. All these dark puppets and all these, they need to be removed before this system will be, really brought out in the open. But to me, I've been feeling for a very long time that it's already running beside the old system. But I do believe that we're going to see the old system collapsing very, very soon. And essentially, it has already collapsed, but it needs to be shown to everyone around the world, of course, that system is truly collapsed. So this is a big victory that they've taken over this. Big, big victory. And of course, the balance back. We really want that balance back in our lives. But of course, the dark energies are not going to just accept that. So I'm also going to take a look at, of course, what's been happening with the earthquakes in Turkey. My heart goes out to everyone involved there and people that have lost loved ones. It's a horrible situation. So I wanted to take a look at the energy, because there are, people saying all kinds of things. Well, it has to do with the dark energies. They are retaliating because Turkey was going to talk to Russia. It's also mentioned in Benjamin Fulford, Fulford article that this has to do with, This happened, of course, the earthquake, when there was talk that actually the Russian, if I'm not mistaken, the attack took place as Russian Foreign Minister Sergei Lavrov, I hope I pronounced that correct, landed in Iraq to launch military technical cooperation with Turkey, Iran, Syria and Iraq, along with the Gulf states. And he mentioned this as to that this was a weather modification weapon, and it was used to show Turkey, obviously, who was really in charge. There are other people. There's also an article or a message on Cosmic Light Force, who's actually also mentioning the article from Benjamin Fulford. But he's saying underneath this is an ancient battle. The original Khazarians were from Turkey. Khazaria was located where Ukraine is today. Dams and tunnels connect from the UK, Italy, Middle East, Ukraine, Kazakhstan and the Silk Road to China. So other people are alluding that this has to do with the Whiteheads actually clearing up things. So I wanted to take a look at the energy. What is going on here? Is it maybe a combination again of the dark energies using certain weapons, and that the Whiteheads are also using this to really clean up underneath? It's all possible. To me, it all kind of falling together, these agendas, except it's used with a different intention behind it. Of course, the dark energies want to fully control us and pretty much destroy everything else. And the Whiteheads are trying to use this to destroy dark energies and help humanity. So the cards I got was the Nine of Pentacles. The central card was the King of Cups. Card in the past is the Six of Cups again. It has to do with children as well. So we have the Queen of Wands underneath the central card. And for the future, near future, we have the Knight of Swords, we have the High Priest, and I got the Five of Swords. So I actually got an extra card to clarify that I already had an extra card, but that's the Eight of Pentacles. And this is, to me, very, very interesting. To me, this feels like a combination of the Whiteheads and the dark energies again. I do believe that the dark energies used certain weapon to create chaos, to create these earthquakes. And they're going to use more and more in the near future as well. They are fully losing their powers and they have this all or nothing attitude. So they're going to use everything they've got to create havoc, to create chaos, to create disaster. But I do believe that the Whiteheads have used this to bring more independence. So things underneath are certainly cleared. It's almost like they're using that as well. And by using their weapons that the dark energies still have a hold of course, the Whiteheads can now determine where they are. And they can, of course, take care of that as well. That's basically the issue. They still have certain things under their control. And, of course, the Whiteheads need to know where they have these weapons. So they can make sure that they won't be able to use them again. But this is an ongoing process, and of course they've kept things behind. They are the dark energies know that when they use certain things that they will draw attention to that area. And of course the Whiteheads will know where to focus next. So we can still expect a lot of things happening from the dark energies. They are now in the hectic period. How to say this? They are really in a panic. They've been for a while. But especially with the loss of the money completely, this is they're going to try whatever they can. They're going to activate people that are MK Ultra, and they're going to create false flags. You can see it around the world now. A lot of false flags are happening. But the Whiteheads take this, what they do, and use it to clean up things underneath Turkey and of course in that area. So this is also cleaning themselves up. So in essence, they are giving, the dark energies are, it's like the white hats are just giving them rope so they can pretty much hang themselves, so to speak. But unfortunately, there are victims involved. So, like I said, my heart goes out to the people there, but this is a war. We are in a war. There are going to be victims of the war, unfortunately. To me, this feels like a combination of dark energies that started this, and white hats are taking this as well, using it. It's not like they know exactly what the dark energies are going to do, so they have to improvise, so to speak, as well, because of the weapons the dark energies still hold. And I'm sure they're taking care of this now, making sure that they won't be able to do it at this scale. And let's face it, if the dark energy still had full control over everything around surrounding the weather, we would already be in a complete chaos. The entire earth would be in a complete unrest, wars, and disasters everywhere, because that's really the only thing they have left. And pretty much that was part of their plan, to create as much chaos as possible, so they would actually live under the ground, live in those dumps and those tunnels, and then when the time was right, they would come up and see pretty much who was left. But they're working hard. I do believe that the white hats are working hard to make sure that they are not capable of doing those kind of actions anymore. And like I've mentioned before, if they had full control of the dark energies, had full control over all these machines, we would be in a horrible situation now. I actually pulled another card, just some information, but this is really about also waking up people again. This may seem like this is a tough way to wake up people, but it's all necessary. It's all part of it. It's all showing people what's really going on, what kind of weapons they really have, what kind of control the dark energies really had over us. And this is especially for the people that are completely closed off. And I think it also has to do with that we really are now in a period where things are happening that are very chaotic, very tough to just sometimes understand why it's happening. But like I've mentioned, and the things that are being shown to us, some people really don't want to have anything to do with it. And it is tough to see these things happening, to see all these people, buildings collapsing, people are stuck under the rubble, people have died. Those are horrible situations, but we have to understand that the dark energies pretty much want full control over us and really wanted a lot of people gone. So if it wasn't for the white hats, I think most of humanity would have been gone by now. There would have been way more victims than there are now. And that's very tough to understand, but we are in a war. We are in a spiritual war. So I believe that the white hats are helping us out, bringing back to our independence, but it's up to us to become independent. And with independence means that we trust our own strength, our connection to God, our connection to Source, that we are connected to our feelings, our emotions, our intuitions, so we can use our energy and start creating, become independent. They help us with that, but we are the ones that have to step into our own power. They can help us get rid of these dark energies, the white hat obviously, but they cannot put us in our strength. We have to do that ourselves. The Great Awakening is about awakening and understanding that we have to do that as humanity. Each one of us has to decide to open ourselves up and to really, start dealing with things, especially with our emotions, with our intuition, with balancing things with our mind and our heart, so we connect to Source, we can connect to God, and we can truly be this incredible spiritual beings that we are experiencing life here in a human form. We really need to step up to that. That's our job. It's not that we have to sit back and wait for the white hats to do everything. This is what we have to do. That's why shadow work is so important. That's why dealing with your consciousness is so important. Working on your frequency, that is the most important thing that we can do right now. It will help ourselves and that will help humanity. When we raise our frequencies, when we really deal with our energies and what's outside of our consciousness, our shadow work, we will become very strong and we will radiate that and we will shine and we can help other people to really look inside of themselves and become independent. This is very important. So I want to leave it at this. Hope to see you in another video.